Hello. This is Sophie Mihalko, and it's funny. I was going to speak to you in French. I'm not sure. So let me just. I'm waiting for my co-host, who is going to join us anytime. I am going to send her another email to see if she is going to be able.
Hi.
Oh my gosh, you here?
Yes,
Yes.
I'm using my iPad. Computer's refusing to open
Oh yeah.
uh, Hangouts. All right, how do I sit with this thing?
We get to
Let
see
me
beautiful
just.
Gosia figuring it out.
Beautiful Sophie, how was France, sweetie? All right.
I know. And I was just about to speak to the people in French. I was like, bonjour. Oh, no, wait, wrong language. Look at
English,
you
por
with your
favor.
red. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful.
Getting ready for Christmas, right?
I know. I have a, here, I'm going to show you. I have,
Ah! Show me your boobs. That is funny.
anyway. So, so I've been quite sick for the last couple weeks. And when I got home, I lost my voice. This is the best it's been in days. So, yay. More ease, please.
More ease, please.
Can you
Yeah.
hear me, honey?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Whew.
Yeah, it breaks up a little bit, but
Oh,
super smooth. So today is a big day in America. It's the day after Thanksgiving. And in America, they have this thing called Black Friday. Do you know what Black Friday is, Gosha?
you know what? I forgot the original meaning of it, but I know that people go crazy in the stores, and I do not go to the store ever, ever, or
No.
mall, or anywhere near any department stores.
I considered at 8 o'clock because I really want to decorate my house for Christmas. So at 8 o'clock, I was like, I'm gonna get dressed and I'm gonna go before everybody to get my Christmas decorations. I'm like, no, not.
No, they actually up all night since yesterday. Like people
Yes,
are
yes.
actually shopping since yesterday all night long, or some stores opening like at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. and it's crazy.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's worth it. Maybe for some people that's ease.
Well, so I wanted to bring that up because so people have associated what they're being told with ease, and it's in Access Consciousness. We use this tool called "Who Does This Belong To?" And if people were only to ask themselves, wait a minute, do I want to go shopping now, or am I being pulled by all these people who think they have to go shopping now? Like, which one is true for me? I bet you there'll be a lot less people in the stores.
Yes, definitely. Yes, this urge. I woke up with like anxiety and stress and all of the like a jittery state, like I must do something, I must go, I must. I got up and I started working on a computer at 7, which normally on the day off I wouldn't do. But and then it's like, oh, it's Black Friday. Everybody's like, I must go, I must do something, I must shop. And yeah, it was very interesting to be
I
aware
know.
of the intensity in the of the energy around me, and I know it's
Yeah.
not mine, and I still like went for it.
Yeah. So if anybody who's listening to us or watching this later, if you feel some kind of tension or if you feel like you have to do something and you don't really want to do it, but you have to do it, would you just ask, is this mine or somebody else's? Am I picking up on everybody else going crazy?
Yes, and this tool is like a life savior for me. I don't know how many times I asked it and nothing was ever mine. And if it felt like mine, my follow-up question is this mine, or did I buy it from someone or already solidified it in my body as mine? And it always is a yes. So what is the yes? Is the lightness that you can perceive, or like an opening. Light or heavy is perceived differently by different people, but for me is definitely this my chest opens up and there's the lightness in the of the energy, and I know it's not mine, and then I just return it to sender, or say I destroy and I create everywhere. I solidified it as mine, or bought it as mine, or own it as mine, and it kind of lifts off. And it's amazing how fast the tool can change the mood from grumpy, annoyed, angry, scared, totally stressed, to like, oh, life is great, life is beautiful. This is like one of the most miracle tools we access people use daily. And I'm sure you have many stories too, Sophie.
Yeah, actually. So Access Consciousness is going through a major revamping of the website and the way we do business. And I've been involved in the website for a while now. And I caught myself crying with frustration twice in the last couple of weeks. And I was like, okay, so first I bought it as mine, and I was like, why am I crying? And then I was like, one second, how many people are freaking out because we're giving them a new piece of technology, and they have bought the point of view that they're not good with technology. So they're probably very frustrated themselves about having to do with something new, right?
That is correct. Yes. And I didn't even get near it yet. And I know I have like 2 days, I think, to complete everything. I must be persevere. I never asked who does this belong to, because I'm like, I will clean up first. I will cook something first. I don't know, clean out the closet.
Yeah.
There's always something more important than creating my business on Access.
Yeah.
Access
Oh my gosh. That was also the problem. So how many of you have people who are like treating you like God because you can do something for them? And so you do that thing for them, but you feel really bad because actually you wanted to do something for you first, right?
Yes.
And so instead of looking at so that you get taken care of and they get taken care of, you go and rush toward the people that need you. So this is so cool because on the holidays, I know that for me, like I get frustrated with buying gifts because everything I see, I want it for me, right?
Yes, right.
So it's very funny. Your video has a little tiny delay, so I hear you laugh before I see you laugh.
And you are kind of frozen. I don't know if it's like a picture or, and I'm afraid of like tapping anything.
No, don't do
Yeah,
anything. It will get better. Eventually, we will switch the platform for the video. I know that we've been having a lot of issues because the platform is not as robust as we'd like it to be. So bear with us. I think you can hear our sexy voices and accents though, right? So Gosia, you have talents and abilities that very few people on the planet will acknowledge they have. So how do you, but you're so a mom and you're very active in your community, how do you be so social and yet so different?
Wow. Oh, Sophie, this is almost a beyond question. I just be and I deal with everything as it comes, and I happen to like people actually. So
Yeah.
that's helpful when you're surrounded by a lot of people and a lot of moms, especially when I'm being in a mom role, and it's just so easy to talk about being different. It used to be really difficult for me. I was hiding all the time. I never showed who I was. I never wanted to step up and show my true being. And now I actually enjoy even being controversial, stirring the pot, saying something that I know will like raise the brows. But no, it's like planting the seeds of consciousness and installing the virus of consciousness. They will not forget me, even if I upset them or even if I say something irritating to them in the moment. I know they will not forget me and they will not forget what I say. So I encourage everyone who is hiding, who has been hiding for the last, I don't know how many years, to try something different, something new, and see how it's how it's going to work, because for me it's working really, really well.
Wow, that was awesome. I'm so glad I asked that question.
Thank you. How about you, Sophie? How are you showing up in the world, being so very different? You're like one of the most different people I know, and I've never
So,
known.
so I just had a really interesting experience because so I'm French, for those of you who didn't get it. And I left my country 21 years ago because I was so different. I didn't feel like French people got me. So it took me a long time to get back to France and actually interact with French people in a nice way. But now I actually go there at least 2 or 3 times a year and I actually do quite a lot of business with French people. And I was there a few days ago, and my mom and I were having a conversation, and she said that she was very proud of me, which was awesome. And then she said that she thanked me because without me, she would not have traveled so much because, she came to visit me. She joined me on some adventures. So she was very grateful. And she's like, I want more. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is my whole universe, like going upside down. So even though I got so much judgment for being different, but I still went on and just went with it. Like you said, like just being me, left my ass off and just take on the judgment as it came. Now my mom is actually inspired by me. And my mom is one of the few people I know who's trying so hard to be normal.
Wow.
So it was amazing to me that I finally was even one person, the fact that I can change one person's life by just being me was amazing. And I mean, I do it in French, I do it in English, I do it with energy. I just facilitated a foundation class. And when we do the body process called MTVSS, what I did is I did a symphony of possibility on everyone running MTVSS. And it was awesome. It was so awesome. Like stuff came out and the energies moved and they all got it. And it was just beautiful for me to acknowledge that I have this capacity now. Woo!
This is amazing, Sophie. This is wow. How does it get even better? And wow, when you started talking about running away from France because you were so different, it was exactly the case for me. And for many years I've been returning to Poland and pretending to be normal, trying to fit in as much as I could, and up until a few years ago when I actually started sharing what I do. And now I go every summer and so many people wait for me, so I practically do classes for 6 weeks straight and private sessions. So because I dare to show up, and it's like, okay, I'm in a small town, people think I'm crazy, my parents were worrying about what they will say, and I'm the only child. But I was like, no, it's not worth it. I need to show up because I know I will be a gift to so many people. And those tools work, those processes, this energy work is so amazing and such a gift to people and bodies and their lives. So like, no more hiding. Really, no more hiding. We need everyone to show up and step up to change this planet and change this world.
Yeah, and so like I hear many people say, oh, I wish this was different. For instance, I wish corporations were not going to take over our lives. Or I wish that there was less pollution. I wish there was, this was different. This was different. And that's awesome. Yet so who are you being around it? Are you judging others because they're creating the situation you don't want? Or are you being somebody who is actually in communion with the earth, looking at everything that the earth wants to contribute and contributing back to the earth and to people around you?
Yeah, right. And how very few people is getting it, that fighting for peace doesn't work. Fighting the terror doesn't work. It's about being different and asking questions. So what energy, space, and consciousness can I be to outcreate all of this, to contribute to changing this on this planet? Who can I be? What can I choose? What can I say? Where can I go? Who do I talk to change it? So we can ask questions rather than resist and react and be negative and or be scared. or just criticize everything, the system, what's going on in the world, this does not change anything. This does not contribute to anything. The world remains the same or is getting worse. So what would it take for all of us to step up and start looking at the possibilities of what we can create and who can we be and what can we be, rather than just criticizing it and not liking it or being angry by what's going on? So what would it take?
So actually, I'm a very pragmatic person. So I like to show a little example of what being versus doing is.
Mm-hmm.
So I I see a lot of people doing recycling, and I'm looking at the trash cans I put out every week, to be picked up by the city. And actually, the recycling is bigger than the other trash can. And then I know that it takes a lot of resources and energy to actually go through the recycling. Mm-hmm. So I keep thinking the green movement or the recycling, okay, it's one step, but isn't it also including the energy that we don't want, which is no pollution or no over, not too much of anything? So what can we be? What energy can we be so that it's not overcoming a problem, but it's being everything that we can be? So for instance, I excuse me, I really like glass versus plastic, right? So I use a lot of containers that are made in glass because I'm going to get spoiled in the dishwasher, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, so I actually look at the object, not what it does, but the object. Do I like it? Is this object matching the energy that I want to have in my life? I like glass. I like to have glass around me. I don't like to have plastic around me. So I'm going to get containers that are made of glass because I can reuse them. They're pretty. I can have my kids find them. They're going to bring something to my life that plastic does not bring. So it's not that I'm trying to overcome a problem, is what is this going to create in my life? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, and that's such a simple yet powerful example, Sophie, because we don't really, look at those things in daily life. Like, is this contributing? Like, how can a glass container contribute to your life? But it does. It does, because you like it. You feel better about about the environment. And I do exactly the same. It's like plastic, but glass, yes. It feels so much better eating food out of this. It's so different. Like, but it's also people get so engaged in like fighting the plastic on the planet or fighting the pollution, rather than making the choices like you talk about that will actually change things. And nobody talks about the biggest choice we could make towards changing the planet and the pollution of the planet, which is getting rid of the judgment and laughing more. What if you stopped judging you, or at least didn't judge you as much, and laughed more? You know that this would actually contribute to the earth way more than reducing the pollution. Really?
Yes. So okay, so this is really cool because I love laughing and I love to make people laugh, right?
Yes,
so,
you're a stand-up comedian too.
Yeah, I make faces, I say silly things, I wear blue hair, I do anything that I want to do to make people laugh, right? So when you laugh, so anybody who's watching it now, make yourself laugh. Okay, so what just happened? For me, my whole throat opened, my belly expanded, and I just got more relaxed, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So if I'm more relaxed, I'll probably be kinder to my neighbor. And if I'm kinder to my neighbor, we may actually create something together that we would not have created otherwise. So if you just take 5 minutes laughing in the morning, especially if you're getting up like Gosia did, anxious, just laugh for no reason and see what that creates.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. And especially when you're like in a grumpy place and unhappy place and something just happened that you don't like, or showed up, or you created something, or you chose something that didn't work out, if you would like find the energy to laugh at it or laugh at yourself, it will change immediately. It changes faster than any other tool. Laughter is amazing, and sometimes it's like the hardest thing you can do when you're in like the worst place ever. But if you choose to laugh, like everything will just lighten up, and like people around you will change too.
Yes, and we both have kids, right? And they're both close in certain age, right?
Yes.
They're always fighting. And I do this thing with my girls that when they're fighting, I imitate their voices. Oh no, it's mine. No, it's mine. Where you did this? Where you did this? And then they get mad at me, but then they cannot stop laughing because I'm being silly. So,
That's a great one. Thank you.
so they stop fighting, and it changes everything, because suddenly it's not even real what they were fighting about.
Yeah, it's never real. We make it real.
Why make it real? So I just we have a couple people who have joined us, and if anybody wants to ask a question, you can go ahead and do that on the right hand side. I'll be reading questions if people want to ask. So my gosh, we already give people a lot more tools for ease. Are you celebrating the holidays with your family?
Yes, I'm at home, and there's a party tomorrow, and I have a class tonight, and what else? Yes, and we're getting a Christmas tree already today. Oh my gosh.
I know, I'm going to get mine tomorrow morning. What class are you doing tonight? I'm curious.
Foundation. I actually have a like a private foundation class, which I broke up into 3 evenings, and I'm doing part 2 tonight.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
2 lovely ladies, and we're having so much fun. It's really beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah, they needed to do it. They wanted to do it before the end of the year. So
Yeah.
we're doing it.
Yeah, I just did foundation for 10 people in France, and it was so cool. Like those classes. I mean, I remember the first time I did my first foundation class, and it was like somebody had been in my head this whole time, and finally put it on paper.
Wow.
It was so cool. I'm very excited for you, because now it's like my favorite thing to do after sex. Oops.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Talking about more ease, right?
My boyfriend will not do that.
More ease, please. More sex, please. More classes, please. More money, please. More yumminess, please. More laughter, please.
Yeah. So you were in Las Vegas a few days ago.
MG, I was. It was amazing. And thank God for the tools I have. Thank God for the awareness that I'm just aware. And this is a place that I probably would be miserable at a few years ago. But now I just know that whatever I'm perceiving, it's not mine. There was a bunch of entities. They were like on to me all the time. So we were actually starting a day with clearing entities, which was really fun. And doing really fun energy work. So it was actually quite amazing to be in such beautiful, beautiful city, full of light, full of life, never going to sleep, always action, always something going on, and actually being happy and not feeling like I'm going crazy all over the place. So really cool.
Yeah, I actually worked in Vegas for a year, so I know that town really well. And the earth is amazing. It has such a potency over there. It's mind-blowing. But I'm like you. I actually did not have any windows, because I was working in a casino, so I didn't have any windows. So it was a challenging experience, to say the least.
Yeah, but did you know Access then when you were working in Vegas?
I did not. I did not. So
Wow.
I actually got so sick that I passed out, and I was locked in my office. My boss locked me in my office for like half a day because he didn't want me to get up because I was so sick.
Wow.
But I just kept going. It's like you said, like it just never stopped. So I was following the energy and I kept going. And then one day, poof, I couldn't go anymore.
Yeah, like when you're surrounded by so many energies and you don't have the tools, you don't have the muscle of awareness, like you think you have to go and you don't listen to the body, you don't hear the body, you don't even perceive the clues the body's sending you, because I'm sure you were tired before or you wanted to stop, but you're like, no, I have to go, I have to keep going, I have to keep going. And this is what we're doing. Like if we really are not choosing awareness in every moment of our life, then we get sick or we get tired or we get depressed. And so what would it take, like what tool could we give to anyone who is watching or will be watching in the future to create more ease in their life? So what do you get would be the most fun, the easiest tool we can actually give to people watching it?
So the expanding out exercise, I learned it from the beginning when I started in Access, and I've used it so many times where I'll start it and then you'll finish it.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. I would love to gift some tools so people walk away feeling like getting some tool that will create more ease in their life.
Yeah.
Go for it, honey.
So if you start by feeling the edges of your being and where your being is right now, and it could be your body and it could be right outside your body a little bit further, but sense the edges of your being and then expand that being to the whole room. Expand it to the whole house or the whole building. Now expand it out to the whole neighborhood and go in all directions, up, down, left, right. And now expand it out to the whole town. Go deeper into the earth. And now expand it out to the whole country. Now expand it out to the whole continent. A little bit bigger. You want to take over, Gosia?
Yeah, and keep coming, going, keep going, keep going, keep expanding in every direction, down into the earth, up and down, like a huge balloon is growing around you. And just keep going, keep expanding. And for some of you, it's a slow process. For some of you, it's more like, and just keep going and go bigger than the earth, than the planet, and go to the outer edges of the universe and stay there and stay there. That's the key. That's the key. Stay there. Don't contract back. Or you can actually do a little fun exercise. Now try contracting to the size of your body. Let's do it faster now. Try to contract. It doesn't feel good, does it, right? Like try to be as small as your body is right now. And now expand as big as the universe and beyond, but just like in every direction. You see how much easier it was?
Yeah, that was cool. I like that a lot.
Wow. Yeah. So, like, once you start doing this exercise, you can see how much easier it is to actually be in the crowds, be in the malls, be in, with your family. Yes, that one too. And with the friends or anywhere where there's a lot of people, because we are aware beings. We're very aware creatures. So when you're aware of all this bombarding thoughts, feelings, emotions, energies from other people, when you're being space or so much space, it's actually nothing can stick to space, can it? So it's so much easier. And I always add as well, like lowering my barriers, because even when I'm expanded, sometimes I perceive something and some barriers come up. I really taught myself to lower them. At first I was like pushing them down, like almost with force, because they were just this automatic walls and barriers creating separation or like protecting me, whatever I was doing at the moment. And then slowly it started being super easy to just lower my barriers and expand. And when I do that, it's so much easier to deal with anything. And this is what I was talking about when I was in Vegas. I made sure I was expanding constantly. I'm just aware, but not impacted by anything around me, because I would be, and I know many of you are very aware, maybe not know that how aware you are, that it's impacting you and affecting you in daily life.
Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
That's awesome. I love that. So when we are, when you talked about the walls up, and I perceive that a lot of people think it's hard to bring your walls down, but it's actually as hard as you say it is. So if you've decided it's hard, then it will be hard. But what if it was easy to bring your walls down or to change something? What if it wasn't hard?
And what if you even did it, even if it was hard? So what? Just do it. You've done probably way harder things in your life by now.
Really?
We?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So thank you so much, Gosia. That was really, really, really cool. Like my body's very relaxed, and I feel like I can do something now. Question. Yeah, go ahead.
No, just how awesome. How imagine the world if people were walking around being expanded with their walls down, being totally vulnerable. Like being vulnerable is the biggest strength we can be. And people think being vulnerable is being weak. But imagine the world like even half the planet would choose that. Like would we have as many conflicts and fights and crime and wars if we chose to be just expanded, aware, barriers down, and have more fun? Like, what would it take to create a world like that? Really, what would it take? And what energy can we be to create that?
Choice, maybe?
And I know I maybe need to have my hopes and dreams run way more, but I am not giving up as long as I live to create that.
I like that. I like that about you. Don't give up, ever.
Yeah, ever. Thank you.
Okay. So this will be posted on YouTube, and people will be able to watch this video at a later time. And if you have questions for Gosia and I think Gosia and I were going to do this again because we're having fun.
Yeah.
So if you guys have questions, please post them at the below the YouTube video, and we will answer those questions in the next Google Hangout.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, anything else that we should add? So we gave the expanding exercise. Who does this belong to? What else? Light versus heavy. You want to talk about a little bit more about light versus heavy for people that are not clear
You
yet?
know, okay, so so this is one of those tools that obviously I use a lot, but I have found that if you decide that you're not going to do something that's heavy, okay, so light means that it's true for you and heavy is a lie, okay? However, if you stop yourself because it's heavy, then for me, the lie wins, kind of, right? So instead of stopping, so this is a tool that's actually a little bit complex for me, because instead of stopping when it's heavy, I ask more questions.
Yes, thank you for saying that. Almost nobody says it, Sophie. And I always clarify to people too, oh no, I can't do it. It's heavy. Bam, decision. Done. It's like,
Okay,
well.
So yeah, the light and heavy tool is awesome. And Gosia and I, we use light and heavy all the time. But it's not because it's heavy that you have to stop yourself. Like, okay, so is it heavy because you're picking up on somebody else who would be afraid of doing it? Or is it heavy because maybe you need to ask more questions, you need more information, for instance? You know, it's like, so I wanted to go business class on my trip to France. Mm-hmm. And I bought a coach ticket. And 2 days before I left, I called to see if I could buy an upgrade to premium economy, which is right between coach and business. And there was none available. So I said, okay, fine. I hung up, but I got the awareness that, I was going to have a good trip. Like I was going to be relaxed. It was going to be fine. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a day before I left, I got an email saying I could buy an upgrade for business. So it was a little bit of money. It was a bit more money than I wanted to spend. But I asked, okay, if I buy this, what will it create in my universe, right? And I got the amazing, expensive possibility it would create. However, it was heavy. So I got this amazing expensiveness and I got this heavy feeling. And I was like, why is it heavy? It's heavy because I have decided that I cannot pay for this right now. So even though I know it would create a lot, it's heavy because I think I cannot pay for it. So I didn't buy I didn't buy it right away. and then I got more money coming into my account than I expected.
I wonder why.
Okay, universe, I get it.
Nice. Nice.
So that's like the example for me where it was heavy, but okay, I still did it.
Exactly, because if you choose something that might be heavy in the moment, it will just create something different. And it's not like it's black or white and it's dead or alive. It's really not. We think we have to make the solid decision. It's not about making a solid decision. It's more about choice creates awareness, and whatever you choose will create something else. Even if you go towards something that doesn't feel super light, maybe it won't be as easy experience as it could be, but it could turn out even greater because you would really build your muscle of awareness and ask even different questions, more expansive questions, and it could lead you to a completely different reality. So it's almost like playing a video game, and depending where you turn the whatever it's called key arrow, it will be a very different experience if you go to the left and very different experience if you go to the right. It's the same with asking questions and choosing. People don't get how easy it is to choose. People want to make usually a right decision or avoid making a wrong decision, but it's really just a choice. So what if every choice would create something different, and something different for your life, and it could create awareness, and it would contribute to your life. Even if you won't be as happy at the end, when you choose something, it will create some awareness. So maybe next time you won't do it at all, or you will meet different people as a result of it, or you will end up somewhere else as a result of it. So it's more like almost like a philosophical debate, like what to choose. But there's no wrongness. What if you couldn't choose wrong? You just to choose something that will create something different. And this is almost like it's the simplest tool and the most complicated at the same time. Like you said, like the light versus heavy. Oh yeah, whatever makes you feel light, it's a yes, it's a true for you, and whatever is heavy is not true, and it's a no, or it's a lie. But there's so much more to light versus heavy. There's a whole universe of choices and experiences you can create because of following this tool and this awareness.
Yeah, and okay, as you were talking, there were two things that came up. The first is, but I think most people think they have only one or two or a limited amount of choices.
Yes, and menu of choices.
So what if the choices you see are only a small part of all the choices that are available? So that's one thing. The other thing is, recently somebody asked me, how do you get out of your head? Because they're very conscious that your head is not helping. And I have to say that being in access classes is the easiest way to get out of my head. And I cannot quite describe it, but there's something that occurs when you take an access class with a facilitator, maybe Gary Dane or certified facilitator. When you take an access class, something in you opens up to a different possibility, and you no longer need to rely on your head. Okay?
On the mind.
It just happens, right?
Yeah, it's, we have been entrained to use the mind and think everything out constantly. And how many times you thought about something, didn't feel right, but you did it anyway, and then you're like, I knew I shouldn't have done it, but you've done it anyway. So maybe if you ask the question and follow the energy of light or heavy, something completely different would occur. So what if the mind wasn't as mighty and amazing and precious as we think it is? And what if following energy, and our awarenesses and our knowing would create a completely different life filled with ease and joy, rather than constant thinking and computation and trying to figure everything out and driving ourselves crazy, because we do that, right? I was, at least, all the time. And like you say, any class, every single class I took, and I took so many classes, created this space in my head where it was like nothing, just air. I felt so blonde and so polished and so happy and so joyful. And rather than figure something out or think, I would have awareness as, oh, it's time to go. It's time to, I don't know, turn off the oven, or it's time to do this, or it's time to call this person. It's more coming from awareness, information coming into the head, rather than trying to remember or figure it out, or use the mind, which is such a gift for me. It's amazing to follow the awarenesses. And if I did follow every single awareness, my life would be even easier, because sometimes I'm like, oh no, I don't have time for this, or I have to do it later. But if I did it the moment I had the awareness, things would be easier. So just a choice. How easy do you want to get?
Yeah. And, you know, I have to also tell people, yeah, of course, Gosia and I, we take a lot of classes, and we definitely work on this every day. But we also were, it's also a choice. Like one day, I remember I was like, what if I do feel energy? What if I am aware? And that was it. And there was just a choice. There was no processing. It was just saying, oh, what if questions work? That's it. So even you can do it.
And for me, the key was to start trusting myself, Sophie. I don't know what was it for you, but I never trusted myself before. I was relying heavily on all the, gurus and teachers and instructors and fortune tellers and clairvoyant people to tell me what I need to do, what I should do, where should I go in my life. And once I started trusting myself, things have gotten so much easier. I can trust myself, and then I don't have to get mad at someone who told me what to do and I did it and it didn't work out so well, or be disappointed, or like, oh, nothing happened there. It's just trusting myself beyond the shadow of a doubt that I know what I know. And even if I choose something not that great in a moment, I can change it. So trusting that I have the power and potency and the tools and energy to change anything and everything. That's like the biggest gift that Access has given to me, to have that, to have more of me, to have that certainty that I am who I am. I be who I be. I have unlimited possibilities, and it's only up to me. What will I choose? What will I create? I don't know, how is it for you? Like, what was the most biggest gift that you got from Access? I wonder.
One day, Shannon O'Hara, I was on a call with her, and it was a 6 weeks call. And she asked everybody on the call, she said, I'm going to ask you for the next 6 weeks to not second guess yourself anymore. Wow. You're not allowed to second guess yourself for the next 6 weeks. And if you want to do it again after 6 weeks, that's fine. That totally changed my life, because I did it. I stopped second guessing myself. And so everything I did right away was the right thing. And it was awesome. It was awesome, man.
Yeah, that is amazing. And Shannon is one of those people that is so trusting in herself, and it really created an amazing life using those tools. So yeah, wow, so cool. So never second guess yourself. Just know, even if it sounds crazy or it seems crazy, whatever shows up for you, just go for it and see what happens.
Okay. I think my body's saying it's time to say goodbye.
Okay. Okay, 45 minutes. That's good. That's wonderful. And we will meet you guys again. We'll do it again. I had so much fun. Thank you, Sophie.
Yes. No,
Just
thank you.
amazing. Thank you. And 1, 2, 3 for your voice, honey. And your
And
body, your sweet
good for
body
you.
to recover.
And if you want to, if people want to reach you, Gosia, how do they do that?
Okay, gosialorenz.com, which is GOSIALORENZ.com, or info@gosialorenz.com, and on Facebook, of course, all the time, Gosia Lorenz on Facebook, and we can put the information underneath this video when we post.
Yes, we'll do that. We'll do that. Okay, awesome.
How about you, honey? They will know where you are.
Well,
maybe.
Is there another Sophie Mihalko? No.
Right? Is there another Gosia Lorenz?
And I tell you, I was in Paris and I was at the supermarket, and I got out of the supermarket and there was a television there, and they filmed me getting out of the like the camera was right here, getting out of the supermarket, and my mom turns to me with the most serious tone and she says, "How did they know you were here?" And I was like, "I don't know." And I put my hoodie on and I kind of went like star, and it was really funny. Like this energy, just I was a star and paparazzis were after me. It was just so interesting. So
that's awesome. Oh, I bet you didn't ask to be on TV a little bit more often, didn't you?
actually,
Oh, you totally created it, lady.
well, this is my TV show. More is please. That's my TV show.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you, Gosia. And next Friday.
Next Friday. Thank you, everyone. This was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Oh, this is getting better. Bye.
Getting better.
How do I hang